Remember the game to be full screen windowed. Okay, so
everything changes.
Life. Life.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Alright guys, it's gonna be around about 5 minutes. We're just waiting on Dozier to update his anti-cheat client. So we'll be back soon.
You have the off fire from Shazam and it's still low.
So, a smidgen of damage. Surprise, surprise, the 1D hits, but Flowsick hits harder as he finds 3.
Finds himself a kill, but Magistrate...
You have the off fire from Shazam and it's still low.
So, a smidgen of damage. Surprise, surprise, the 1D hits, but Flowsick hits harder as he finds 3.
Finds himself a kill, but Magus trades it back. He lines up. He gets the triple.
Dial for face. He's about to pounce like a squirrel. He's got two and a third face. A flying squirrel from tree. And he escapes with 3 nuts for misfits.
Welcome. Tonight is going to be North taking on Gambit here in the ECS Development League Season 4. It's going to be an interesting game, of course. Sorry for the way online games always have these sort of tendencies for players to sort of mess up. There's a lot of issues that can happen online. Dozier this time was the issues. He didn't have his anti-cheat client updated, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. But we're getting into the game now. The pistol round is underway. It's going to be the T side, is going to be North. They're going to be picking up 3 smokes and maybe an A execute on the cards here, as there are players heading that way, but MSL wants to restart the game here. So we're going to see some more pauses probably coming out. As North have called a timeout. It looks as though they maybe made a mistake off the buy. I want to restart. So we are just going to be waiting for North to fix this. Apologies for the absence of game. We're just literally waiting until the teams are ready. There has been a little bit of issues so far. Should be resolved pretty soon here, as it looks as though the admin will be restarting the game. They probably just have to go into the match medic and set that up and send it back to the first round, where everyone has the same amount of cash, etc. There we go, the backup is made. And we're back into the pistol round here. It is going to be North starting on the T side. Let's see if they go for the same buy. That would be interesting. So pauses come out still. It looks like a tactical pause, but North, they buy the same stuff. There is 3 smokes, a nade, and a flash on 3 players. MSL, Cajun B, and Valde demand to pick those up. It looks as though they were heading towards A, so we're likely to see the same strategy play out here. But it's really down to whether that is exactly what MSL has called, or whether or not he might change it up. As it looked as though there was a bit of an issue to start with. But the pause has been cancelled, and we're getting underway in the game here. It will be the pistol round. A little less hype than before, but as Dozier finally picks up a set of armor here. And now we're going to get underway. Again, North starting on this CT side on this T side was probably not what they wanted, but losing the pistol round, you're going to have to start on this side as, you know, getting underway. It looks as though the execute will come in now as the smokes are getting set up. It looks for 1 for jungle, 1 for CT, just the standard A setup. 1 for the stairs, 1 for jungle, 1 for CT as Dozier getting some early aggression towards apartments. Won't spot anything out, but the smokes are in. Fitch is the first to find the frag as he hops up on the ticket box, finds one, falls back at Dren. He strikes from the edge of the smoke, and Hobbit's there as well. And a Dren to finish it off for Gambit, who started off well here on Mirage. MSL, the only player to find a frag, and that's with the nade. That's an absolute decimation by the Gambit side here. They're absolutely destroying North as they walk straight out onto the site. Bit of an issue there, I would say, from the North side. They didn't really wait until the CT smoke bloomed before they ran out of ramp, so Fitch was able to just get up on top of that box and able to pick up the frag, but it is going to be Gambit picking up the pistol round, and North are trying to answer back here. They've 4 spot into this one. All players with armor, all with upgraded pistols as well, but Mo through the smoke. He's going to make that a little bit harder for the North side as AZ's now dropped, and man advantage for the Gambit side, but smokes are at the ready here, and they are going to be trying to execute onto this B side, force themselves out with brute force. Config had an amazing performance back at the DreamHack Malmo, but they have had somewhat of a disappointing start here on the ECS qualifiers yesterday, getting 2-0 to Mo and Dozier and a Dren to finish it off. And Gambit, they pick up the second round, and North, they crumble again here in the second round, unable to pick up even 2 frags, I believe. I think they got 1 or 2 frags there. Let me have a look here. Yeah, they've got 1 frag at least, so it's a little bit of economic damage done, and I mean, they can walk away with their heads held high. They get onto the site, but a lot was invested into that round, but it doesn't really matter as they did not get the bomb plant in the first round, so give yourselves a chance to win that. Eco this one, and of course force buy, well, get your buy finally into the 4th round, but we are going to see the CT side will be Gambit just keeping these weapons, trying to get some aggression here as Dozier. He's dealing with the pesky nuisance of Config, who's trying to get himself a frag here. He does a little bit of damage, drops Dozier down to 60 HP, but Hobbit is there to support Dozier, and it looks as though Config will find himself himself a bit of an awkward confrontation here as Skull, but he has an M4, he peeks up and he finds the frag, and he'll fall away with a kill there, and it's going to be a Gambit picking up the man advantage into this round again. All full Glock, so still not really much you can hope for in this round. Just fake towards being, you know, play the patience game towards A here, and maybe perhaps get the bomb down. It looks as though charge is about to come in here from the north side. Just waterfall out from ramp and palace. Just try and force yourself down, cover the bomb planter, maybe get the bomb down, but it's being made very difficult as Fitch, he'll find two, make that nearly a third, but Valde, he strikes with the Glock, at least a frag, and the bomb is going down, but unable, oh, he gets it down, and that's a huge play from MSL, able to get that extra little bit of cash into that next round for the north side. That's best you can hope for. You get a frag and a bomb plant. That's exactly what they were going into the A site for, and they come out on top of that one. But Gambit, they pick it up. They win the 3 rounds in a row, first 3 rounds. But here comes the first task they've had. It is going to be North buy round, and let's see what they decide to do here. It will be purchasing up 5 AK-47s. Not enough for that AWP, sadly. Occasion did force buy quite a few times into the early game, so he's going to have to keep himself on that AK-47, but over on the Gambit side we see Mo, he's got that AWP in hand, and something I actually want to point out is how well Gambit are at adapting on this map. It's such an entertaining map to watch Gambit. They're constantly moving on their CT sides, but Config, he'll deny any movement from Adren as he's dropped, but it's Hobbit, he'll peek out the window, find a frag on the AZ, and Mo, he's striking as well, and a bit of team damage comes in, but Fitch, he'll find a kill and make up for it as he shuts down Cajun, and we're now 4 players versus 2. And North, they're back on the back foot here. They've got 2 players versus 4. They've got the 2-man deficit, and they've got to fight back. They've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. All utility still remaining on these 2 players. So I'm not really quite sure what the whole plan was for North. They weren't really actively trying to get some early frags, as they do just go for aggression here, but Config, he's found some at least damage on the Hobbit as he does, and it's going to be shut down by Mo, as he'll find that frag every day of the week as he fires straight through the kitchen, drops him, and Valde, he's answering back as well from short. He's trying to stay alive. 1 versus 2, Mo is low, but it's Dozia, the lurking man in the shadows. I'd love to see some statistics on how often in a game, like a percentage of time Dozia has spent holding that shift key down. If you watch Dozia in particular, he constantly has his key on the shift. Constantly shift walking. Oh, Valde able to jump past, get the bomb down, but he's getting sandwiched at this point. Dozia spots him out, does a lot of damage as Valde, he's sticking alive here, but it's Mo to come in from behind, but Dozia will finish him off anyway. Picks up the frag, picks up the AK, and the defuse will come in for Gambit as they pick up 4 rounds in a row here. North crumble, but Valde and Config at least do some damage and get a bomb plant as well. Best you can hope for in that situation is Mo will now leave the bomb, leave that over to Dozia, who has a defused kit, but interesting round for North. Just kind of steam charge down middle, and you see Gambit by the corpses down left on mid. It's just complete decimation on middle here for the Gambit side. And it's going to be the op still remaining in Mo's hands, but the CT side here, North, they'll be able to buy, but it's a lot weaker than the last time. I think they've learned their lesson, and they're going to play a little bit slower and more slow-paced game. In particular is maybe some default plays, try and send your playmakers in the form of Config, and you see how to try and find some opening frags. MSL will lead the charge towards mid here. Molotov comes in, forces him to stop moving a little bit, but that is exactly what he'll do as he shuts down Adren. Adren, the man, has actually fallen, I think, twice in a row now early on here, but it's Config, he's out, the playmakers find 2, and he's opening up the site for the north side now is Dozia. He's left on short, he has to try and find these frags, again holding the shift key, but Config will fall, and the bomb is still down, but MSL and his fellow Northmen have definitely got the man advantage here as the AWP has been picked up, and they've got a 2-man advantage, and he's going to try and change that. He's going to try and solidify this as Dozia finally lets go of the shift key as he's dropped by Valde, but it's Hobbit that points from jungle as he finds one on the MSL. He's going to try and get this diffused in here, but he's getting surrounded, and Cajun beat. He'll peek from above and shut Hobbit down and send North to their first round victory here in Mirage. It's been a less than satisfactory start for North, but I'm starting to get back into this one. Cajun beat. He finds an ult for himself as MSL picked that up in the last round. Won't be the CT side. They've got themselves still got to buy. I mean, winning 4 rounds in a row, you're definitely going to have a bit of money to work with. They've actually opted to do a little bit of damage to Dozia as well here and drop him over UMP. Feel bad for Dozia in this situation. Obviously, the man who kind of deserves it as he did make us wait for the start of this game, but it is Valde trying to get some aggression towards B, but that Molotov will decimate any plans of that. He does fire one off by himself as well, but it's Config here. He's going to find that first frag. Mo's dropped, and now we're into a 5 versus 4 territory again. And Config being an absolutely huge player for the side here, able to just find frags whenever he needs them. And Hobbit finally trades back, but MSL from top mid will find the frag. A little bit of overzealousness comes out from Hobbit, just really wanting to shut down Config before he can do any extra damage here. It's going to be a little bit of extra salt in the wound if he was able to do a little bit more, but Hobbit deals with that. And MSL will trade frag back. Nice Kinguin. He's going to try and peek short. He knows Dozier plays from this angle quite often, but a close encounter comes in here, and Adren comes out the loser of that battle as Valde will pick up the frag. Kinguin, he strikes, misses somewhat of an easy shot on the Dozier. Finish him off with a leg shot, and the P250 will finish him off, and it's going to be North picking up their second round, and MSL getting that bomb plant at the end will establish some extra cash here. I think with the addition of Valde, North have been looking like a much different side, especially at the first offline event. They're probably the most satisfactory team with the new rosters that I've played. I mean, Na'Vi had a good run themselves, getting Zeus back, but something really disappointing for me was FaZe. I mean, I was hopefully expecting something a little bit better to come by FaZe, but they do go out in a group exit. Same with Cloud9, so definitely North starting this off as they want to continue with Valde as the new addition to the team. Molotov's raining flashes as well, and it looks as though Config will be the man the entry frag yet again. He won't be finding anything anywhere near him, as Hobbit will find a bullet and shove it right in Config's mouth as he falls, and he's going to find a kill on the Dozier. Occasion B fights back, gets Hobbit, but we're into a 4 versus 3 territory. North have taken the site. Gambit, they're getting shut out. And yeah, Dran at least finds one with the deagle, but Occasion's there to shut him down. Nice left on Mo and Fitch. The new addition to the team, Fitch. It's been quite an interesting one for Gambit, not really heard of, and he's able to just step up and get Gambit semi-final, so definitely a very good player. He held his own against some top teams at his first offline event, and that's definitely interesting to see, and good to see as well, seeing new players just emerge onto the scene, especially in CIS region. AWP remains in Occasion B, and Gambit, they've had this setup where they have 4 M4s and a UMP for quite a few rounds now. It is Config doing a lot more damage here. He drops Mo down to 23 HP. That's the mid presence completely de-established for the Gambit side, as North they construct some presence here as MSL, Occasion B and Config now are making themselves known, and they're going to creep their way up through connector now. It looks as though that is the task, but Gambit, they've been quick to try and get some counter map control. Fitch gets aggressive, finds a kill on the AZ, and that's going to open up ramp control for the CT side here. They take back what's not theirs and at least give themselves a fighting chance into this one. Mo, he's still under the wood. Config finds one. MSL finds the second. And now left on Hobbit and Dozier in for the retake. Hobbit finds one. He drops MSL. And we're going to be into a 3 versus 2 territory as Hobbit and Dozier. He'll have to try and retake the site. Oh, a bit of timing goes well, but Hobbit, he'll be left alive for a little bit longer as Config runs out of ammo, but the Glock with the one tap will finish him off, and Valde to finish it off against Dozier. Nice start from Gambit, but of course North, they're not going to be a slight share. They're coming back into this one, proving that it's going to be a back and forth game, a really close one as well. Both teams are probably equally skilled, I would say. Both teams have good runs at Malmo. I think North, if looked on paper, probably have the more skilled lineup on paper, but Gambit, major champions with the addition of Zeus, but he has been removed from the roster. I believe there were some internal issues, but it's Config with the Molotov. He's going to find a frag, but he's dropped by Adren, so it is going to be one-man advantage for North as Gambit, they lose 2, but fighting back is Adren as he finds a frag on the Config. It's located at the bench towards middle. So they are just trying to get back onto A here as MSL, Occasion B, they're making their way through. MSL, he knows where Hobbit is, the murder hole, so profoundly named as MSL picks up a frag. AZ will find the second. Fitch, he's out of there, and nice left on a Dren. He's found one so far, but really, can he do anything else? You know, instead of head armor, likely would be pretty good to save this, but he's going to walk right into the crosshair of Valde. He's just going to finish him off. And now North, they take the lead. But it's Gambit here. Maximum loss bonus amounting to the AWP buy from Mo. He's been an absolutely hot and cold player for me. I mean, Mo, he's the kind of player that you see you have insane games where he just completely does so much damage and wrecks teams and so dynamic, and then there's other times where he's kind of vacant on the server and you'd really like to see some more of him, but hopefully that's the Mo that's here today. Hopefully we have a strong Mo who's trying to find some of these dynamic frags, but it is Mo. He's getting aggressive on short. He comes out worse for wear there as he's dropped down to 66 HP, but it's Config on 26. Definitely comes out of that battle with the lesser HP, and smokes and flashes. They're going to come out on middle now as the players now try to establish control. It looks as though North have been doing this setup quite a bit. They just send 3 players off towards mid, usually Cajun B, Config and MSL, but it's going to be bunny hopping coming out here. Cajun B walks right into the crosshairs. Mo's there to strike like a cobra. And he'll find the frag as Cajun B falls, and now it's into a 4 versus 5. North, they take a man down, and Gambit, they find themselves the man advantage here on the 10th round on Mirage. We're going to see 54 seconds left. Getting dangerously low for the T side as they haven't really established much control, but MSL can change that right away as he finds a frag. AZ finds the second. Fitch just dropped a Dren. He's good for 1, but Valde too much to handle as he comes round and rips his head off, and now we see Mo and Dozia left in a 2 versus 3. Dozia, he's coming in with a long flank. He's definitely got go of the shift key this time. He's found himself in Palace. But his MSL, at least on 5 HP. Mo expecting some play here, but MSL too quick on the trigger. His pistol is AK right in the head of Mo, will finish him apart. AZ expecting the flank from Dozia, finishes him off as well. And North, they pick up the 6th round here on the board. Gambit starting to look a little bit worse for wear here. They got the man advantage, and that was mainly because Cajun B just gave them it. He was kind of playing with the fact that he knew Mo was playing from that angle. You could see him shoulder peeking and bunny hopping, trying to get out of the angles. But this time, it's Cajun B. He's answered back. He's found a frag on the Fitch. He walks away with the man advantage for North. Hobbit, he'll find a kill. Valde is fallen. So it's back into 4 versus 4. Gambit able to answer back here. They pick up a frag. Hobbit finds himself an AK. An aggression here. Works out for the CT side. It is MSL now, though. He's going to try and find his way through short. Mo holding close connector. Stand alive for now. And Smoke will deny any presence from this T side, but look at this ingenuity. Config gets boosted up. He's looking for the frag. Hobbit spots this one out a mile away. Deals a lot of damage, but Hobbit's found himself with 51 HP. Cajun and Config, they pick up 2 frags. MSL to find a 3rd. Dozia falls on the site, and now it's left on a Dren in a 1 versus 4. If we can see a POV from a Dren here, this would be huge as he's now making his way through B apps. He's going to try and find himself an AK. Some exit frags could be on the board here. If he could find himself some frags, probably not come out of this one as worse for wear as he probably would have liked. But we are going to see a Dren. He's going to get a little bit closer. He does a lot of damage. He finally finishes off AZ, but the bullet from MSL will finish him off. And North, they pick up the 7th here as they lead the way by 3 rounds. But as Gambit, maximum loss bonus chimes in yet again, and we do see the double op setup coming out here. Something mentioned by Carrigan in the interview was that a lot of teams, when they're trailing or they're losing and they've tried things and it's not working, they usually go on to this double op setup. And let's see if Hobbit and Mo can really utilize this and try and find some frags. And Trent misses the nade, so that's going to come back and deal a little bit of damage to himself. An unwanted boomerang. As now we do see the T side. They're going out A this time aggressively, and Config will find a frag on the Fitch. Mo finds one on the Cajun B, and it's not easy to strike back. He finds a kill on the Adren, and MSL, he'll do more damage as well. And North, they decimate the Gambit side yet again. It is Mo and Dozia for the 2nd time in a bye round. Are left to fight back and retake against 4 players as Mo now, he's not going to fall for the murder hole this time. He sees one player, he waits and he finds it. MSL falls and the retake is made a little bit easier now as there is only a 1-man advantage for the North side as Mo and Dozia, they're going to try and group up. Joint effort here. They're going to be using their nades to clear out every angle. Valde, though, he's in a nice angle here, but Dozia takes the shot and the push is coming in. Valde is spotted out. He finds one frag. He's done the damage. We're into a 1 versus 2. Config still alive. Tall task for Dozia here. He's still running out of time. Smoke goes a little bit too far, but Dozia will find the frag. Sticks the bomb with Config. He's late here. He could find himself in a precarious position as Dozia is defusing the bomb. And he gets it right in the last second as Dozia will pick up the round for Gambit. incredible round coming out by Dozier. The balls on that guy just to defuse that bomb right in the center of a war zone. You're going to find yourself 9 times out of 10 walking away empty-handed, but this time the gamble pays off and Dozier will walk away with the round. And Gambit, they answer back what looked like it was a pretty darn impossible position. They come out on top, but it is going to be an economic damage done to them. As the Duran, he'll find 1, he finds 2, and a 3rd with a perfect flashbang as MSL's finished off towards middle. 2 players left, Cajun B and Valde. They have a chance here, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult as they are 3 players left on the Gambit side. And 1 minute 30, definitely not the greatest amount of time to try and... Actually, that's not a lot of time. What am I talking about? As they do have a lot of time here. Bod still drops towards short. Valde can pick up that weapon. Molotov goes out to clear out connector. And just eliminating possibilities where the players could be hiding. It looks as though the Gambit have played this one perfectly. They have 1 player, he's towards middle. They have 1 player finding himself towards Palace. So they've got some heavy A control on the B player now. He's found himself in behind. So if you look here at the mini-map, we're going to see a huge sandwich pretty much coming out here. The triangular force, the Bermuda Triangle, going to try and sink these ships in between. The planes will fall. And it's going to be 42 seconds left as Cajun B. Molotov's out. He's finally given away his position. That's going to be A as the point of contact. To try and do more damage. He's found 4. And that leaves Cajun B in an impossible position, actually. Cajun B, he finds the frag onto Fitch. But it's a Dread to finish off Diaz as he picks up 5 and sends Gambit to the 6th round here on Mirage. 6-7 here. Extremely close game, entertaining one at that as well. We haven't had many of those entertaining games yet on the ECS Development League, but when you get 2 high caliber teams such as Gambit and North biting it out here online, it's going to be definitely an interesting affair. AWP comes out on Mo, AWP comes out on Cajun. Battle Ops would be great to see here, but it looks as though North, they're going to be putting all their eggs in one basket. They're going to try and head their way towards A, as we do see 4 players here and a 5th in Palace. As Config, the menace, he just walks straight out of the smoke, finds a kill on the Adren, but Mo answers back. Finally, Config's put to bed as you can't really be getting away with that one scot-free, as he just walks straight through the smoke, picks up a frag, and I mean, it's unpunished up until he gets wrecked, but it is Valde. He fights back, finds Hobbit Ace, he finds a kill on the Dozier, and now we're going to look at in a 1 versus 4. Pretty impossible situation now as North. They're a bit pissed this time as they want to just make sure they win this round. Mo making his way back towards B here. He's tucked up tail, scurried away, trying to find himself a position in the gutter where it may be a little bit safer. He finds a frag. His position is known, so he's relocating himself quite quickly here. He's a man on the run here as he's trying to get himself into a safer position, a safe house. He's found himself in a house, but he's again waiting for aggression here. But the timing works out perfectly for Cajun as he's going to walk up, find himself and Mo looking a little bit discombobulated. But Mo, he misses the shot and he's dropped as Cajun will finish him off with an eagle. And Mo will be kicking himself about losing that one. Cajun B looking the complete opposite direction and you miss a lethal shot. He could have taken all the time in the world if he so desired, but he doesn't. He is dropped for doing so. Flashes are coming over nades here, and we're going to see Valde. He's going to be heading towards B with his team here at North. They look towards B as their presence. It looks as though just another default coming out here. A little bit different of a different one. North, they usually send 3 players off towards middle. We've got 2 players towards B, and we do see 1 player on the ramp and 1 back towards the apartments in Palace. So definitely T-side are setting themselves up with a different T-side approach. So it's definitely a more passive one. Last round they did go for some mid-aggression with 3 players, but it looks as though A will be the point of contact, and MSL, he's going to be throwing a smoke all over. That looks as though we are going to see an A split here as players making their way through the underpass. And MSL, maybe a fake coming in as well as they are now backing off. Hobbit finds a kill on the Config. Cajun trades on the Adren, who gets himself a little bit too aggressive. Something we actually have seen quite a bit from Adren. He likes to get aggressive in areas of the map, especially on Cash and main, which is pointed out in Malmo. But Valde, he finds a Hobbit in his hole and finishes him off, and we're going to see 4 players versus 3 now as MSL, he strikes with a Molotov. He's looking for the frags here. Dozier burning alive, and MSL will put him to rest as he finds the frag with the AK, and it's Cajun trying to find another kill here. Cajun B finally finishes off Fitch, leaving Mo alone, and Valde will put him to rest, and it's going to be North picking up the half. 9-6 here, leading the way by 3. And Gambit, and close behind. And they're still behind here. It is going to be 3 rounds the difference, and definitely behind by 3 rounds, so it is a much needed pistol round. If you look at the scoreboard here, there's going to be 13. Valde leading the way for North. He's been quite a pivotal player for the side. He's been quietly getting those frags, though, as I believe Config is the man leading. Actually, he's going to have the most frags. He's going to be on 14-12, but Valde in score, he'll be leading the way, and it is, of course, Adren for this T side, the aggression, purely destroying the North side. But we're back, and it is the pistol round. It is an important one for North. They have themselves 4 sets of armor, a defuse kit, and a smoke. And on the T side, it's going to be smoking double flashes as Cajun. He taps, he finds a frag. He's going to be looking for more here, but unable to just land those lethal shots. But it's easy. He's from the window. He finds one, but he's going to get dropped by Fitch, who just finds himself a easy tap. It makes it look easy, but it's MSL. He's doing a little bit more damage here. He puts down the X-God himself, and Config from behind. He's tapping away. He does a lot of damage, but finally that awkward affair is put to bed. It's Hobbit. He'll finally trip back, and now he's into a 1 versus 2. Bomb gets collected. There's 1 minute left. Makes his way out. MSL takes a shot. Hobbit drop. And a huge play comes in from the CT side here. 193 viewers. I think it was up to 200 at one point, so definitely keep them coming. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Also, if you want to follow me and my producer over at twitch.tv, sorry, Twitter, my Twitter is Dinko _ actually at Dinko TV, so you can follow me on over at Twitter if you so desire, and Disorian is at Disorian 1337 on Twitter. But we are getting into way now, and it is going to be the T side. They've been left with Glocks after losing the pistol round, and North, they take the win, so they're going to be leading it 10-6. And it's going to be definitely a hard task for Gambit if they are trailing by 4 now, and they're walking right into the clutches of Valde, who finds 3. Nope, I nearly said 3, but it's Hobbit to pick up the frag. AZ finds 2, so at least a little bit of sense there. But Hobbit, he's being a little bit of a nuisance here, but Config will put him to bed, and we're going to see North 11-6 now. Gambit and trail by 5, and they aren't exactly going to have the strongest buy here, but they're going to buy into it anyway. Fitch picks up an AK. Mo, he's on a mere Galil. Adren on a CZ, and Dozier finds himself a Galil as well, and it is going to be North. They're going to be sticking with their buy. They're just going to go up against somewhat of a similar buy, I would say. I mean, they're going up against a buy that isn't that strong. So I would say it's a 50-50 chance here. Fitch going for some aggression towards mid. Will come out on top as AZ is forced off the angle. But he has a lot of teamwork and a lot of support networks around him, so they could actually find themselves destroying the Gambit side here. But it's Dozier. He finally does something here. He picks up a frag. He finds 2, and Dozier has been unleashed. The X-God rains hell fire onto this ace side as he finds a 3rd. And now we're looking at a completely different Dozier. He lets go of the shift key, starts up the exhaust, and finds 3 kills in the space of 2 seconds. Valde and Config, they'll find 2 though. They're fighting back into this one. It is going to be a 2 versus 2. Damage has been done by Dozier, but he's taken out of the server, so he can no longer do any more. But still a very uncharacteristic play, I would say, from Dozier. Just straight through Palace, finds a few frags, comes back out of it on top. But we are going to see Hobbit and Adren here. They're going to get the bomb down, but it's into a 2 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 1. Hobbit, he's going to rip apart Config and leave his body to fly against the wall. And now Valde, he taps the bomb. He takes too much damage on board, and the time ticking away now. He needs to get out of that area. Blast radius is going to finish him off if he sticks around too long. He finally finds himself away. 10 seconds left in the clock, so he should be able to get away safely. He has made his way over towards B. And he does save that FAMAS head armor and a diffuse kit into the next round, so we are going to see North. They lose 1 round. Can they answer back here? They're going to buy into this one. Somewhat of a bonus round last round, but because the economy game has been so close and these rounds have been so close, it's definitely showing here with North buy. They win the first 3 rounds, but yet they still have to eco pretty much. This is a really weak buy, I would say, for the North side, but it is Gambit. They have a much stronger buy this time after winning that one pretty convincingly, getting the bomb and letting it go off as well. So they're going to have themselves 5 AK-47s, Molotovs, smokes to work with as well. Config though, the usual menace, has found himself a close angle. Fitch will shut him down though, and he finds a second. A huge play from Fitch as AZ will finally put that to rest as Mo will find a frag and shut down AZ. So it's Hobbit. He strikes from the hole. He finds a frag. Valdez dropped an MSL. Left in a 1 versus 4. Will not amount to much as Hobbit will finish him off. Picks up a second into the round. And North 11-8 Night Gambit. The CIS side are falling a little bit here after losing. Are climbing a little bit after losing the first 3 rounds. They are coming back into this one, and they are now closing the gap between them and North. North are left on this eco. They got AZ. He's got a P250 in hand, so can do a little bit of damage with that. I mean, probably not much to talk about at that point, especially since Fitch just wrecks him. And it's going to be a Dren. He's going to find a frag with a nade. So Gambit, they don't even need to see their opponents as well. And they just killed him. So it is going to be North trying to fight back here. Cajun, he walks straight up short, finds a Dinko, but he's dropped down by Mo, and now it's left on MSL and Valde. They've got 2 USPs to work with, and it is going to be a very tall task for them to come back into this one, as MSL now, his position has been spotted. He comes out of it with 4 HP. That nade from Dozia. Again, the second nade kill in the round. And Valde, he hasn't been spotted, but I'm pretty sure they know where he is, as he will find a frag on the Adretin, so he's doing as much damage as possible. He's still alive, but Fitch will finish him off, and Gambit pick up the 9th as the bomb gets down, and they're going to get a little bit of extra cash coming into the next one. And North, they're going to be buying back into this one. They have 5 M4s. AWP comes out on Mo on the T side though, so definitely going to be seeing an interesting one here. 9-11 the scoreline. We're going to see them go ahead towards B. It looks as though they're just going to do this default setup. They've done quite a lot here on Mirage. We see this standard play coming out by Gambit, but they say send 1 player off towards B. Hobbit goes and clears out underpasses. 2 players, they passively hold top mid until underpass has been established, because usually Hobbit can find himself an early frag towards window, so they're definitely just waiting on that one, and then they'll double peek once it's ready. But Cajun, he's expecting this one. He's ready, and he's ready to pounce actually, so he's going to try and find that frag on the player. Hobbit making his way through underpass quite swiftly now, but it's easy to find the first frag. Mo's finished off. Hobbit, he takes out Occasion B and Config. He'll be fighting back. He finds a frag on the Fitch, and we're going to look at it 4 versus 3 here as Gambit lose 2. Occasion the only man to go down, but Hobbit, he's still alive. He's found himself a frag. He's got back to safety, and that's going to be pretty much the saving grace for the team here, as now they can collect the bomb. Actually, Adrenaline walks right past it, so maybe he thought he picked it up. As Dozy actually is making his way back, and maybe Adren, yeah, I think he's the only guy with a smoke, so he's probably going to be setting up a smoke execute. The ball is actually making its way back towards B, so a fake is going to be coming in here. It is going to be the T side, going to try and fake towards A, maybe just sell a fake. I don't really know how it is going to pay off, because there's only 1 player trying to fake it out. Actually, nope, the B fake is not what's on the cards. I'm completely terrible at reading this right now. His players are making their way through the underpass. They're going to be heading back towards A, and it looks as though an A split is on the cards. Adren is ready to strike. He's throwing the smoke in to cover off the jungle, but it's AZ in an off angle finds one. Hobbit there to trade with Config. There we go. The menace in the shadows will find one, and he's going to spray the smoke. He's going to find the kill, and he's going to drop the bomb as now MSL. He'll find the last frag on the Adren. Pretty interesting that he didn't save that frag until the last few seconds. I mean, you could have picked up a frag and Adrenaline wouldn't be able to buy into the next one, but instead he comes out with 6,000 in the bank, so maybe a little bit of a trigger discipline error coming out by MSL. But nevertheless, they pick up the round, and North, they are on their 12th, and they're sailing close to a victory here as Gambit, they are fighting back though. They've got another buy round, but I think this might be the last one, as their economy is looking a little bit dire, but it is going to be making their way out mid fast as Fitch. He's been quite good at getting this aggression. He's going to drop Mo down to 74 HP. He's going to force him off the angle, but Mo not the type of player to give up that easily. He's going to try and relocate himself, but Config, he's been caught out here quite a few times now. Maybe getting a little bit stale. That push towards short as Fitch just walks around and picks up the frag again. He's picked him up twice, I think. So maybe getting a little bit stale again. Dozy able to just walk out Palace, find some more frags. He finds the second, and now it's the third player. Is he expecting him in the underneath the boxes? That is the question, and it doesn't look as though he will be. So MSL, he's let Dozy pass on by. So trigger discipline definitely not a problem this time. Letting letting Dozier say it's free. MSL perfectly plays this one as he finds 2. Lets Dozier walk on by, said the side's clear, then pick up the bomb frag, and that's going to be MSL doing a lot more damage here. He's fine 3, but he's in at 2 versus 1, and there's just too much to ask from him. Hobbit will find the frag, and MSL nearly treats us with an absolutely beautiful play. But it doesn't really amount to much as he finds himself 3 frags. Well, that's about it. He has shut down his teammates. Kind of let him down there. I mean, they didn't find any frags. I mean, Config, the player you would usually expect to do quite well, is dropped down towards short twice now by Fitch. So maybe that play is getting a little bit stale. But it looks as though the T side again, they're just going to do this default. And just try and spread out across the map. 2 players towards top middle. They got the bomb still up there, so it's just a standard play where they send off Dozier towards Palace. Has pretty much been his stomping ground. He's just walked out, found 1 or 2 frags pretty much all the time, but he's still there. Mo and Fitch, they've been quite good at getting mid control as well. Fitch mainly has been the man to do the initial damage and find himself control of middle, because Cajun B, he's in the window, he's on the left side of it. He's just going to be laying patiently, waiting for some players to walk on by. He hasn't got armor, so tells tales that he wants to buy an AWP into the next buy round. As AZ, he walks around, finds a frag, shuts down Dozier, limiting the impact he can have in this round. As Mo answer back, get that back into a 4 versus 4. Trade frags are coming in here, and Mo does a lot more damage as he shuts down Cajun. His position not really amounting to much now, as he's going to be the T side heading towards B North. They know this. And MSL, he hops out the window, but Fitch is there. He shuts him down in the round to finish off Config. And it's AZ left in a 1 versus 4. That's going to be it all over as AZ finds himself an AK. He's going to try and save it, but he's getting incredibly close here to Fitch. And Fitch, he'll come out on top of that battle every day of the week and pick up the 2 frags into the round. As he's been an absolute impact fragger so far on this T side for Gambit. I mean, he just walks right at mid. He's able to get that early kill on Config. Pretty much every time Config's played short or aggressively towards short, he's able to pick up that frag. Probably a tendency from Config that he likes to get aggressive. He's a bit of a menace on T side, but this time he's kind of getting shut down by the Gambit side as they pull it back, and it's now 12-11. And they're going to be going for glory here. They should be able to get it back into a 12-12 scoreline as they do have a much stronger buy, and I mean, North, not even with a set of armor to work with. Dozier, he walks out of Palace again, finds a kill on the Config. Hobbit will shut down MSL, Mo will finish off Cajun, and now we're into a 2 versus 4 AZ. He's still 1 kill, he drops down Mo, but Adran's there to finish him off from behind. And Valde, now left in a very precarious position. If we could see a POV of Valde here, that would be good, as now he's making his way off the boxes. Actually, he's just going to be sticking around here. This is somewhat of an off angle. I mean, you can just peek up, find a kill on the Dozier, but he's not going to be able to find that frag. And Dozier will find the frag in the end, as now it's back into 12-12. Score is again even here on Mirage. North, they looked strong. It looks as though they were able to close it out, but Gambit, the team that people definitely underrate, definitely are the underdogs coming in most games for a lot of the analysts, a lot of the players. Gambit have just been slowly scratching at the surface and getting themselves slowly up that HLTV rankings, and they win the major. So it's been a somewhat of a strange year for Counter-Strike, I would say. Molotov comes out, they'll force Adren back. He's trying to get some maps control, but that Molotov will just make him think twice about that and actually just group up with his teammates towards A. That's the only sort of map control they have at this point, is they know they're on the buy and they know that they got to fight their way onto a site. Config this time, he's learned from his mistakes. He's still playing relatively aggressive compared to some players. He's a little bit closer, he's underneath the ladder room, but definitely nothing in comparison to what he usually does. But the execute comes in, the smoke's in, and Gambit, they're ready to take the fights here as AZ spreads through the smoke. Palace is becoming a bit stale for Dozier. He's been red quite a few times now as AZ will shut him down. Mo finds a frag. Fitch will find one, but the long spray doesn't amount to much as Config will finish him off with a bit of an assist comes in by Dozier as well. Mo patiently holding the angle, comes out on top of that op battle, and it's now Hobbit on the long flank. He's going to make his way through middle. He's going to be trying to fight his way through short. It is Config and Valde, though they've creeped themselves into a pretty perfect position right now. If he can shut this one down, he spot Hobbit. He finds the second player, but Adren's there to trade. And it is going to be Valde left in a 1 versus 2. Perfectly played by Mo. Not overextending this angle. Knows if he does, it's all over, and backs off and saves as Valde now. He's going to get his way out of there and can't really do much in this situation, as the players are just completely outplaying them. Gambit have been playing this perfectly. Their after plants are especially interesting to watch. As the discipline from the players just to be so smart and not take the fights and actually get the round win is huge. A lot of teams you'll see make a little bit of mistakes, especially in online leagues, which tend to not mean too much to the pro teams. You likely see some mistakes come in, but Gambit, they don't want to give this one up. They want to win this battle and take it 1-0 on Mirage here. It'll be easy. He's going for an aggressive peek towards mid. He taps through the smoke and he's going to be making his way through apartments. Dozy has found himself a different position. He has been called out a few times towards Palace, so he wants to relocate, get a transfer, and he's made his way over towards the B apartments instead. A little bit of a downgrade from the Palace he's used to, but I mean, it'll make do. As now Adren, he'll find a frag. AZ's dropped, and we're going to see a 5 versus 4 Hobbit. He's going to just make his way through the window. He's found 1 frag on the Valde. He's going to be looking for the second frag, but it's MSL. Aggressive on short. Finds 1. Config in the background finds 1 as well. And Fitch and Dozia, they're fighting back though. They've got those 2 frags back in the way of Gambit and Dozia to close it out for Cajun. And that's going to be Gambit 14-12. 2 rounds from closing it out. And MSL, he'll call a pause here for the north side. So we can take a look at the scoreboard again. Config, top fragging. MSL is actually on top of the scoreboard now. Valde has fallen off a little bit. I believe like 4 frags in the entire half. So definitely has fallen off a little bit. Hobbit, he's going to be on 20 frags. And Dren, he's on 21 as well. So Hobbit is slowly getting there. He's near the top now. He's 1 kill away from equaling that of Adren. But both teams have been showing quite a lot of promise. I mean, North maybe showing a little bit more mistakes, a little bit more weaknesses than Gambit. They had a really good start, but Gambit are an absolute force to be reckoned with. A lot of teams, again, and players underestimate Gambit, and that will be their downfall, as Gambit will not let you get away with that, as they are now 14-12, leading the way by 2 rounds. Aggression comes in by AZ. He shuts down Hobbit. A little bit of a stupid push in my opinion. It's only a 1 and done, as he now gives up connector control, and Dozia will take out MSL, and AZ single-handedly makes that awkward, very awkward for MSL. And Dozia, he's made a swift return to his usual quarters at the Palace, but he'll be dropped by Config and make a swift exit. And as Cajun B, he'll find a frag. Fitch is denied the bomb plant. But now it's into a 2 versus 2. Bomb plant's denied, so it's definitely a lot of time now for the CT side to work with. Cajun B, he's making an aggressive push short again. Could he find the frag? Nope, Mo gets away safely in Config now. He's close in CT. He's going to make his way out. 15 HP, 10 HP actually, not the greatest situation, as Adren will drop Config, and Mo, to finish it off, shuts down Config. And KGB actually, but got taken down by Adren elsewhere on the map, so it is map point for Gambit here. North, they are trailing by 3 rounds. 3 rounds is definitely still a large comeback in comparison, especially since, look at your economy, you've got 2 UMPs, no AWP to work with, utility is pretty weak as well, and Gambit, they're going to have a completely different buy here. They've got a full strong buy coming out on the side. Flashes come in, Cajun B, he flashes towards middle. AZ gets dropped again. Aggression doesn't work out. Mo finds the frag, and it looks as though North have sort of given up here on Mirage, just needlessly pushing, and Cajun gets dropped by Fitch, and Config finds himself on 2 HP. And North have been known to be a little bit of an emotional team. I mean, sometimes things don't go right for them. They can find themselves fighting a little bit, but Adren will find her frag elsewhere. Dozia shuts down MSL, so if we get a POV of Config, that would be huge. And now he's going to try and find himself. He's in at 1 versus 4, 2 HP, and it looks as though Gambit will close out this first map 16-12, but it's really down to whether Config can do much here. Still a tall task. He's an excellent player, but it's over. Fitch picks it up, and that's going to be Gambit. First map here on Mirage, 16-12, and Gambit, they'll storm straight past North, and North will find themselves in a very, very long comeback. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with map 2 here with Gambit versus North. Dozier getting some early aggression. exactly what he'll do is he... There's the flatter. Bit of damage to himself. Pretty down. They'll be putting all their eggs in. Come on, he's into your... So no need for ladder room, but that maybe looking for the set.
You have the off fire from Shazam and it's still low.
So, a smidgen of damage. Ho, ho, ho! Surprise, surprise, the 1D hits, but Flowsick hits harder as he finds 3.
Finds himself a kill, but Madness trades it back to the lineup. He gets the triple.
Dial for face. He's about to pounce like a squirrel. He's got 2 and a third face. A flying squirrel from tree. And he escapes with 3 nuts for misfits.
Alright. Sorry for being a little bit...
You have the off fire from Shazam and Stillo.
So, a smidgen of damage. Surprise, surprise, the Huandi hits, but Flowsick hits harder as he finds 3.
Late into the round here, but a bit of errors went on the side of the production, but we are back into it. It is going to be Gambit securing the pistol round as the bomb is diffused, and that's going to be Gambit picking up the pistol round here against North. Again, apologies for being a little bit late into the pistol round. Why is there winning music playing? Sorry for the music playing as well. We're just having a bit of errors here in the production, but we are back into the game here, and it is going to be Gambit picking up that pistol round. 1-0 versus North. North, they are looking a little bit sloppy here, starting off on Nuke. They get the bomb down, they completely storm down Banana, but doesn't really amount to much as the bomb is diffused. But it is going to be Gozia with a nade. He has a bit of a thing with nades on Inferno as Gambit dispose of North in quite quick succession as all the players are finished and ripped apart towards middle. And that's about it now, as we do see Gambit 2-0. They pick up the first 2 rounds. Now we're going to see the first round coming out by North. Obviously, being able to pick up that bomb plant will allow them to, you know, have this extra bit of cash to work with in this third round. It is going to be full AKs coming out in the third round here with a lot of utility to work with. Gambit, they have a little bit of a different story here. They've got weaker utility to work with, and it's not going to be the biggest victory for them, but it is going to be Fitch Molotoving out lower banana, stopping any push from the T side. As now they're trying to make their way up, but it's MSL. They try and get some mid control. 1 minute 30 left on the clock, so definitely don't need to rush into anything here. North know this, so they are baiting out some utility from the Gambit side, and they are giving them quite a bit of utility to work with, as they are just throwing everything straight down at them in banana. It's going to be 1 minute 15 now, and time is getting a little bit lower, so they are going to be setting up for their executes. Smoke comes out by Valde. That's going to be smoking off, I believe, the archway, if I'm correct. Actually, no, it's the left side of middle. So that's going to force that player off that long angle, as now they are trying to make their way up short. The flashes come in from Dozier. The counter flashes pays off, slows them down, allows for some help from Hobbit to come in here, as Mo's found himself a nice position as well. A nice crossfire, bit of a Bermuda triangle formed here as 4 players on the CT side have found themselves toward A. Flashes out, and Dran peeks out, finds a little bit of information, but is able to find the frag. Is the MP9 not the greatest weapon, as team damage comes in. MSL, he finds 2. It's going to be Mo. He'll shut down Config, but MSL doing work here as he finds 3. He's decimating the Gambit side here. The defense has fallen, but there is 1 player left. That is Dozier in his favourite position in the pit. 50 HP for him. He's right in front of his own graffiti. But the T side now, they've made their way on the site. Cajun planting the bomb. Dozier strikes, he finds 2. A huge play from Dozier, gets it back into a 1 versus 1. Then Cajun, he's in a bit of a precarious position. He's left on 12 HP, and Fitch, he's there to close it out. 3-0 for Gambit. And Dozier, the man with the plan, he'll finish it out for the team Gambit here on Inferno. Dozier and that pit have somewhat of a special relationship. As Gambit, they pick up the 3rd on the back of Dozier. It will be somewhat of a strong buy still on the north side. They have 3 UMPs, 2 AKs to work with. Dren, he's going to keep himself that MP9. Unable to really get much into the first round, but Mo this time, he's got himself an AWP. He's going to be peeking towards mid and doesn't spot anyone just yet. Cajun, he hasn't given a show his head yet, but it's MSL to find the first frag. Dren is being dropped, and now it's into a 4 versus 5. Valde, he's making his way up through the apartments. MSL, he's going to make his way through. He finds 1 kill. That's no, he doesn't, and Fitch actually finds that one a bit easy. He's there to make up the mistake, and he'll pick up 2, and we're going to be looking at a 4 versus 2. Gambit, they've fallen. 2 players remain, and Valde, he's lurking on over towards the A site. Valde's been quite a nuisance as well for the Gambit side to deal with, as he has had a pretty good performance on Mirage in the T side. He kind of fell off in the second half, and Gambit are able to pick up that map, but it is going to be Valde. He'll take down Mo, and it's Valde to pick up 2nd as Dozier is dropped. I'm going to look at how Gambit really fell apart there, and North are able to answer back with 3 UMPs. But Gambit, they're not short on money really. I mean, they can drop weapons over by themselves some time. AWP out on Mo. That's a pretty good decision to pick up the AWP. I mean, he can play off the back of it. He can get a few frags here and there. P250 for Fitch. FAMAS for Dozier. A UMP and a pretty much a jumble sale, I would say, for the CT side here, as the buy is pretty weak, but it's the T side. They have the strong buy this time. The tables have turned. The T side now with the AWP in hand, the 4 AK-47s, and the utility to make a stand, and they are pushing through banana. Easy finds 1. That's Mo finished off and disposed of here. The AWP goes over the wall, just disposed of as well. Mo's AWP not going to be up for grabs for the CT side. And there's going to be slow play coming out again. The T side, North, they pick up this early advantage. They know they don't really have to commit to anything. They've got the advantage. They're going to really force Gambit out of angles and make them try and make a trade frag, and that's exactly what they're doing here. More team damage comes in, and it looks as though North, they know they've got the advantage here, and Valde will extend upon that as he makes a kill on A. Hobbit, he's finished off and disposed of by Valde as the flash comes in as well. Dozier finds himself in a less fearsome position as he's dropped, and MSL will shut him down, and Config, he expects that push from Fitch, hears him out, shuts him down. Bomb going down, 44 seconds left. That will be made to 45 as Night Config plants the bomb. Dran left in a 1 versus 5. If we look at a Dran here, he's going to be making his way into the apartments. Actually, not the apartments. He's making his way through the library here as he's just going to try and save this weapon. Really not much he can do at this point. To try and save his weapon is probably the best decision for him. He's just going to be sticking in the library. Make sure that he doesn't get surrounded. If he does lose this weapon, it's not the end of the world, but it'd be absolutely huge if he could. And he will be able to do so, as the players from North are just going to leave him sitting there. He knows he can hold on to this, and North, they don't really care too much. I mean, they're still hunting him, but if he saves it, they've decimated the economy, and you're going to see Adren, the only player with really any money to... really any weapon to do anything. Gambit are going to be somewhat destined to lose this round unless Adren can go huge. And will be North, though, destined to win this one. They've got full utility, they've got full buy. There's an AWP in the hands of Cajun. And they're going to be searching for this frag. Valde, really being that man they've just put in apartments. It's nice the way he just fits in. He just knows what he has to do. He does his role well. The flash works out probably here for him as Hobbit is pushed in. MSL finds the kill config. Won't drop Mo, and we're going to see it into a 5 versus 3 here as Gambit. They take the site, and it looks as though North take this side here, and Gambit, they're going to have to try and fight their way back, and it looks as though they're just going to save all the way over towards B as M4 in the hand of Adren. He's going to try and save it. Second time lucky, but let's see. It's going to be a bit of a taller task this time, as he is on B, which usually gets spotted out a little bit more often, but it is a little bit of help here in the form of Fitch and Dozier. They can be really just the gatekeepers and make sure that Adren gets to save that. It is probably the most expensive and most important thing right now for him to save this weapon. Bomb will go off, and that's going to be North picking up their third round, tie up the odds here. Gambit, they're starting to sweat a little bit. They've lost 3 rounds in a row, but they are able to buy here, and it's going to be Adren keeping that M4. Should be able to drop one over as well. Not enough for the AWP though, so it's going to be just a full M4 buy, as everyone has an M4 to work with. And on the T side, same buy goes, and they're going to have a lot of money to work with. They are sitting around 7,000 to about 9,000 average for each player, so definitely can buy for the next few rounds here, especially since they really haven't lost too many members, and Gambit unable to do much economic damage. But Banana control, it's a war for Banana, and is being fought quite heavily here with utility. And it is going to be on Hobbit. He's going to be smoking out the apartments, trying to get some extra damage. Fitch finds himself in a less than favoursome position, as he's found himself an early grave, and MSL will shut him down. And it is the T side now, storming their way up Banana, taking control of it, and then slowing down and adjusting their pace. It is AZ. He finds himself on the edge of the sandbags. Config. He makes his way through the boiler. AZ, he shuts down Adren. That's going to be 1 kill for him. 1 minute left on the clock. T-side relocating themselves now as they make their way up mid. There's a lot of options for them. They can decide what they want to do. North, they have just completely obliterated the Gambit side. They pick up the first 2 frags now, and it is going to be a highly weakened defense, as it is merely Dozier here on the close angle. He finds one, so he's doing a satisfactory job here. Cajun will shut down Mo, and Dozier falls as well, and it's Hobbit. He'll come out worse for wear here at North. They pick up the 4th round, 4-3, as Gambit trail by 1. They were able to pick up these first 3 rounds rather easily, and now it's sort of not looking as great as it did about 3 rounds ago. So North coming back into this one strong, leading the way now. Definitely not expected coming into this first map, but North, they were a team that had a really good start on Mirage, and it crumbled. So let's see if Gambit, they definitely have the mental fortitude to come back into games, but AZ and Config, they're making it very hard for them to do so as they drop 2 players. The site is taken now, the bomb and the smoke shooting in, and it's going to be Dozier. He gets spotted out. Valde quick to hop up on the boxes, spots out Dozier. The spray comes in. MSL will be the man to finish that frag, and now Mo and Hobbit, they're left in a 2 versus 5 now, as they are relocating themselves, 1 towards CET and 1 towards the stairs. Hobbit, he's going to try and find some extra frags here. He's got himself a set of armor, so if he picks up this AWP, he can find himself dropping that on over to Mo. And it's going to be a tall task for him even to do so, as there are a lot of players coming his way. He saves, and the players walk past the angle. Looks as though Hobbit will be safe for another few seconds at least. Occasion, he'll finish off Mo in the end there. And that's going to be very Very devastating outcome for Mo as he nearly saves the weapon, but at least it was only a pistol. He is going to be buying into this one. Or at least get a drop on over from a teammate. He hasn't found himself again just yet, but he picks up the op. And that is going to be a huge one for Gambit to use into this round. North could find themselves in a very hard predicament if Mo is able to get firing on all cylinders with the AWP. He's been a player, especially on CT sides, to know how to establish himself on the site and absolutely shut down opponents as the smokes, the flashes, they start to rain in onto the sites. The first flash from MSL, I'll go over towards A. It's going to be an excellent push coming in here. Dozier, he's in the pit, he's trying to find one, he's going to find two, and that's a third for Dozier, as Mo will find a fourth. And Valde, he's shut down, and now it's MSL in a 1 versus 4. He's found 1 versus 5, make that as he finds a kill on the Mo, and Adren, he'll be finished off as MSL. Actually, Adren will finish off MSL, and that's going to be 4-5 now. North, they lose one round. Gambit, they pick up another buy round here as they are going into this one. Coming back into the trail. It's going to be still a long way back. I mean, there are one round, and North, obviously with the economy game, they're leading by leaps and bounds as they still have a lot more money and a lot more weapons to work with than the Gambit side, who definitely have a lot of weapons at the minute. But how long can that stay intact? That is the question. Their economy is quite brittle at the minute. It could be broken with just a mere round win by North. They are going to do everything they can to win this round as they are going to be spreading out. They've grouped up on the stairs. They've reset, and it looks as though Banana is the push. The push is coming in quite heavily as well. The flash comes around. They've got Banana control. It's been gifted to them by the CT side, and a nice call from Adren to call this one, as they do have a little bit more control. But Fitch walks out, finds himself with his pants down, and Adren, he's good for one, but Valde will shut him down. We're into a 4 versus 3, bomb being planted. North with the one-man advantage, and the site will be what the CTs want to retake here as they're spreading in from all angles. The player finally, Dozy, I believe, actually Hobbit rotates off A. He's just going to try and save it onto the A site now. Or it's actually going for a long flank, and Cajun B is watching this angle, so it looks as though they are just going to set up for some extra frags. Maybe send Dozy off to try and find some frags. He's quite a sneaky player with the shift walking style, but even Dozy can't find some frags now as North are going to be heading their way back down Banana. And that'll be the round for North. 6-4. A little bit of a more disciplined side right now. I mean, we've seen a few more mistakes on Mirage, but it looks as though they've mentally reset. They've had a bit of a break. They can talk over things that are going wrong. So definitely going into this one with a different mindset than previously. AWP in the hands of Cajun B still. And on the side, CT side, Mo is able to pick up that op, but it's starting to get a little bit weaker. I mean, they've got FAMASs here. Dozy has his M4, of course. Actually, he decides to pick up the FAMAS and that Fitch pick up that M4. Quite interesting. I think Dozy is actually quite a good FAMAS player. I've seen quite a few rounds where he's been able to get 1 or 2 kills in quick succession with a FAMAS, so definitely not a slouch with that weapon by any means. 6-4 now. North lead the way. They've leading by 2 rounds. An absolute change in pace for the North side last round. We're able to pick up that B side push, but Mo, finally, we get to see some aggression coming out. That early advantage swings in the way of North, in the way of Gambit as North MSL crumbles towards mid, and we're going to see North trying to fight back for the trade frag here. AZ is able to do so. He gets it back into a 4 versus 4, make that a 4 versus 3 as he finds the second, and Fitch is finished off on the site. He's been having a bit of a tough game so far, but it's Hobbit to find a frag on the config, and now we're into a 3 versus 3 territory. Hobbit rectifying the mistake from Fitch, and it's going to be North still getting the bomb down. They've got the B site yet again, and the retake is on yet again. The smoke will pretty much limit the vision of Mo, so he's going to have to try and find himself a closer angle, and especially with the AWP, that's not exactly what you want. The CT side, Dozy making his way around. Hobbit's there as well, and it looks as though Cajun, he's watching the angle perfectly. He lands a shot, but it's not lethal. The flashes come in. Most find himself on 23 HP. A push comes in. Dozy with a FAMAS strikes, and he takes down AZ. But AZ and Valde, they've done enough work to shut this one down as Mo, left with 23 HP, will fall back to the mercy of Cajun B's op. Mo has found himself on 23 HP, enough to survive, and he will find one frag by the bomb. I don't know if it's going to hit him, and it does. And Mo, the op, is not saved over into the next round for Gambit. And Mo was pretty much locked in that position. He had a bit of a window he could get out of, but he had to find the frag quickly, and unable to get it quick enough, and he'll be left dead on the floor. And it's going to be North, 7-4. They pick up the round. It's been an interesting game so far. I mean, North are going for this sort of just change in pace, aggressive style, and really just don't rely on much defaults or pick-based play. They've just gone straight up aggressive, and that works out for one round. Then they go for a pick-based strategy. It works out as well. I mean, for the trade frags, obviously you mess up towards mid, so you just send AZ off to do a little bit of damage towards B, and it works out perfectly as MSL with a flash. He'll find one, going for the second as well. Fitch stayed around a little longer than I expected, but MSL's spray not really connecting too quickly, but it is going to be the T side now. They have the chance to get back on this B side. It's been falling quite a lot. Fitch, I mean, he's having a bit of a tough game. He's unable to get those frags that are really needed. He's found himself in an awkward position more than once, so maybe needs to reevaluate his positioning. But Mo, he'll take that kill. He'll just walk around, find a kill. But it's Hobbit. AFK and spawn. Is this matchmaking? Technical issue probably coming out here from Hobbit. If we look at his ping, how bad is it? Yeah, 346 ping for Hobbit, so definitely not the greatest position for him to be in. As Valde sprays to the smoke, finds the kill on the Mo. And it is going to be another spray coming through by Valde. He's trying to find a kill on the Dozier, but we're just looking at Hobbit here. He's still left in spawn, 346 ping. Not exactly the best outcome for the Gambit side. Boom, right. Taken away. North able to pick up that round. I mean, it's a technical pause. Look at Hobbit. His ping's not really moving for 346, so it's kind of just staying stable. I don't know where the Gambit guys are playing from right now. Admin is going to be calling that pause in right after this round, so it will be North 8-4. Bit of a lull in the game here, so that Gambit can maybe talk over some issues as well. So Hobbit is on time. Lee ping works out perfectly for Gambit here as they're able to talk over some stuff. I'm just going to take this technical pause as a bit of a time when I can eat my chicken sandwich, as I'm a hungry guy who's been casting this game for quite a bit now, so I'm going to just take this a few seconds to eat a sandwich. I hope that is okay. Let's get some viewer interaction going here. Do you guys, who do you think is going to close out this one? Obviously Gambit leading the way with one map, but we'll go to a tie if North are able to pick up this one. But what do you think, chat? Who do you think is going to win this map? I think North are starting to look pretty good. Gambit look a little bit less confident on this map than they did on Mirage. So, could be an interesting map. Sandwich is finished and the pause is not. Sandwich is finished but the pause isn't, so you're still going to be waiting for this. Pause to resume, and it is going to take a long time as Hobbit seems to be restarting his router, so Dozier says he's incoming, so we gotta trust the X-God and we're going to wait until Hobbit is back. 30 seconds apparently, so not too long. Hobbit has returned. And we're getting underway. Yet again, there's going to be Gambit. Going to be on the CT side. They've seemed to die Hobbit's ping down a little bit, as it is starting to come down to about average. So we are going to see getting underway yet again the T side. Now they've taken this break, they've sort of calmed down. I mean, the momentum maybe was shifted, so let's see how that plays out. Gambit obviously have some stress issues here with Hobbit having to try and fix his net. But it's going to be the site getting pushed here. It is MSL quite aggressively moving in, but he's going to find himself a bullet to the face with the AWP. He's fine too. He's been an absolute beast so far in Inferno, just finding multiple kills here and there. Cajun and Config, they chime in with 2 as well, leaving it on Fitch in a 1 versus 4, as he's now retaking the site. If we could see him walking through the smoke here, that would be huge, as he's now just deciding to back off. Doesn't really want to take that fight. I mean, touche, because it's not really a battle he's going to win. So best back off and see if this M4 is now. He's found himself in a position where he can be kind of followed by a lot of North players here, so he's going to find himself in a very precarious position here, as players now making their way from the left, players making their way from the right. He's going to find himself here trying to fight out of this corner into the Lion's Den. The flash comes in, he finds 2, he's looking for the 3rd, but the flash is all that he has here, and he's going to use it. It's going to work out. He finds an easy opening for Valde, but Valde too quick on the trigger, and he'll find the headshot. And Fitch, he does a nice job at dealing damage, but unable to just save that weapon. And you're going to see how that impacts Gambit here in their economy. We're going to see 3,000 on average around the players, and that's not great. As on the North side, it's a completely different story. They've got a 10k, 14k, 15k, a lot of money to work with. That is the long story short. And we're going to see the AWP from Cajun try and open up the round yet again, but it isn't going to be it. It's just been mostly MSL actually leading the charges today on Inferno, as he finds a frag on the Adren. He'll make his way up Banana, but 9-4 now. North definitely leading the way here as MSL walks around the corner. He finds a frag. That's the 2nd, and Cajun B, he strikes as well. Dozier finds himself shut down towards mid with the AWP, and now it's left on Hobbit and Mo. They're left. The 2 versus 5. At least Hobbit with a bit of jiggle pick and finds a opening. He finds Valde, and the bomb rolls to his feet. So that's not really the worst situation, but that is his config. He takes a chicken out in the process. It's going to be Hobbit dropped. And now Mo, he's left in a 1 versus 4. He's all the way over towards Banana. So if we can see if Mo is coming over towards midnight. He's just checking every angle, making sure that he doesn't get called out yet. But Easy, that was an insta headshot, just walking past. Mo finds himself not even enough time to react, really, as Easy just watching that angle shuts him down, and absolute annihilation comes in from Easy. 10-4 now. Gambit, 4 rounds to work with. North, it looks completely different here on Inferno. It's a much more dominating North. They haven't really been using much tactical sort of CS. It's more just been fundamental rushes and coordinating pushes together based off information. As now they're doing it again. They're just going to make their way up Banana quickly, force the players down, break their economy. Change of pace is what needed. And Adren, he finds one. He finds himself dead as Valde will shut him down, and now it's left on the one site defender, which is Fitch. He's had a bit of a tall task lately. He's had a bit of a slow one, but he's doing well here. He's found one, and that's about it, as he's going to get shut down by Valde, who's been an absolutely consistent beast for the T side here as Cajun. He sees the flank coming in from a mile away. He shuts down Mo. That's the op out of the hands of the CT side. And Dozier with the smoke. He's trying to make his way onto the site now, but that Molotov will deny that. But that Molotov will be received from Config, and Dozier, he put a first class stamp on that bad boy and sent it down to the back. Config will receive it early. It's Valde to shut down Dozier and Hobbit in a 1 versus 1 here as he finds a kill on occasion. But Valde, the ever consistent player, finds 4. Sorry, I was eating a sandwich again. But that was the half for North. 11-4. Pretty huge round to win. They pick up the half and lead the way for the T side here. Actually, I need to check something about my microphone. Okay, it should be a little bit better now. I don't know. Maybe a little bit quieter. I think it was a bit too loud. So we're gonna see the CT side now. They've got a bit of a chance here coming into this one. The flashes are going to come out from MSL. That flash is actually is a really nice pop flash. It just pushes off any players who are rushing banana, but the pistol round is starting to go on the way at north as Valdi picks up that first frag. It's going to be a USP headshot just towards middle, and that's not going to spell good news for Gambit, as they definitely need this one, as Dozy, he will do a little bit of damage. He finds one frag, he drops AZ back into a 4 versus 4, but it's still not over yet. Gambit have grouped up towards B. They've sold the fake. MSL's on his merry way over towards A. He'll find himself at a nice angle here, but it's Config. He's got to hold off this push. 3 players making their way quickly towards the site. Straight up the barbecue, right past the coffins is Config. He's got to fight his way out of this one, unable to land the shots. Occasions drop. Config finally lands one. MSL through the smoke finds one as well, and Fitch to shut down Config, and it's into a 2 versus 2. North, they're looking good into this one. They've got the CZs, they've got time, but Fitch, he's got to find his way under the site and get this bomb down north. They can always just wait. Hobbit needs to find a frag, and he's unable to do so. Valdi will close it out, and MSL to find a frag, and that's going to be North. 12 to 4. They pick up the pistol round, and Gambit, they're on the back foot yet again. I mean, picking up CZs is definitely a different one. I mean, they've got a smoke here, so CZs is usually a lot of teams are going for the 5-7 now, but since the recent changes, I think Gambit have been that sort of team that actually, interestingly enough, prefer the CZs, as they have picked up quite a few now, as they are quite good at winning these rounds. So let's see if they can amount to much here. It is the T-side CZ strategy. Interesting they picked the CZ over the Tech 9. I suppose the Tech 9 has lost its run and gun properties with the new update. It isn't as effective in a run and gun situation, but it's MSL to find a frag. He shuts down Hobbit, he shuts down Fitch, and it's Valdi to find a frag onto a Drem. Night Gambit, he takes a mo looking pretty discombobulated towards top middle. As Dozy, he's now left in a 1 versus 4. He's all the way back towards T-spawn, so definitely an off angle. I mean, let's see, he looks a little bit vacant. Maybe his ping's gone bad too. Yeah, Dozy, his ping has crumbled. 444 ping for Dozy, and that's what you get. CIS internet is not really paying dividends to the C side right now for Dozy. And I think Techno Pulse comes in again from the Gambit side. Valdi finishes off Dozy. North 13 to 4. It's quite a problem that Gambit do have. He used to be a Dren, I think a Kazakhstani player. He had a lot of issues with his internet, a lot of online games. It seems to have come down a lot now. He's sitting on about 53 ping. No, nowhere near as good as North's. So you do see them on 15, 14 and 16 ping, obviously having better internet, being located probably closer to the server. Whereas Gambit, CIS team with players from all over the world, are going to have a bit of an issue when it comes to ping, especially on online leagues, as they are in the Premier division. Players are discussing their homes. There was a tweet came out by I believe it was Gambit's official Twitter. Actually, they put out a tweet with asking where Dozy was. They were saying he was at the pool, and it's getting a little bit hard to take him away from the pool area. So Dozy, he seems to have chilling by the pool right now as he's disconnected from the server. If we look at the scoreboard for a bit here, it is going to be a pretty underwhelming game for Dren. He's kind of a man who can lead the way for Gambit. He's going to be on a mere 5 frags. Hobbit, he's been a really consistent player. He's going to be on 9 frags. Fitch, even though he's having a bit of an issue on that B side at the minute, he's still finding himself 8 frags, along with Mo. Dozy, I think he's got the most kills. I'm not too sure because he's been playing pretty insane. But the north side, again, MSL, strangely enough, is the top fragger. The in-game leader leading the way for the side. He's been playing that entry role quite well. Something to point out also, Config's been a little bit vacant. I mean, he's only on 9 frags. Cajun B as well. Valdi, he's probably one of the best consistent players I've seen in a while. 15 frags for him, 6 deaths. Definitely doing a good job here on the lurk, on the pushes, and keeping North in their game. And the pause is still intact. Dozy still hasn't reconnected. Internet problems do still concur. North have been looking a lot different here. They look a little bit more confident on Inferno. I believe it was their pick. Gambit, I believe, did pick Mirage. I mean, they were able to pick up the win on that one. At least they have the option that it will go to a tie. It looks as though North will close this one out. The internet problems from Gambit, not able to get the momentum rolling, and North 3 rounds away and Gambit 12, so definitely have that issue. Not much momentum being built on the T side. That's kind of what you need on the T side. You need to get that mental momentum going, and it's going to be a pretty tall task for them to get that going, especially since they're down so many rounds, and North only need 3 to win, so it will be the North side. It is their game to lose, and they are waiting on Dozier to come back into the server. Not much clarification on whether he's coming back soon or when. What is the story about that one? But I'm gonna just like take this opportunity and try and fix my microphone. Alright, looks as though Dozier decides to come back to the server when I least need him to, but the pause has come out and we're getting back into this one. It is going to be Gambit trying to fight back and bring this one back into territory where they could possibly find a comeback, but North 13 rounds, Gambit find themselves losing a man pretty early on here. Fitch is dropped, and that's North fighting back with a man advantage here, and it isn't yet. Valde finds the second and the third as Dozier falls, and we're into 2 versus 5 territory as Mo and Adrian left against 5 here as North. Valde, he finds himself an easy frag, picks up a kill. Mo's dropped, and now it's left on Adrian, who gets ripped apart by AZ, and that's North 14 to 4, 2 runs away from securing victory for their team. I really like the style coming out of North here. They just completely disrespect Gambit. They just throw nades straight down mid, expect to get the frag, then just do the rest themselves. It's based off sheer power. They did that on the T side as well, just kind of just going for it and just pushing banana with all they've got, and just really works out for them. But the flashes are coming over. That's going to blind 2 players. North and Config find themselves blinded, but the nade, that's going to do a lot of damage on the Hobbit. He's found himself in less than half HP, and Fitch, though, he's unblinded for a second. He'll take that frag. He drops Config, and now it's left into a 5 versus 4 MSL. He has to do work here. He's found 1, he finds 2, and nearly a third. But Fitch, the ever-consistent player, finds another. And we're going to see it into a 3 versus 2 as Adrian fights back, finds a kill on the AZ. And North, they show weakness as Adrian, again, he's finally woken up. And he finds another frag as Valde falls, and now it's left on Cajun B. If we could see from Cajun B's perspective as he's making his way through the archway. Making his way through CT spawn right now. 1 minute left. Bomb still hasn't went down. It's making its way towards A. So Cajun B still has a lot of time to work with here. He taps away, finds 1 frag. That drops Adrian. His position is now known as Fitch is trying to get the bomb down. Dozier, oh, the timing doesn't work out for Cajun as Dozier. De Menace finds 1. And that's going to be the round going in the way of Gambit Gaming. North 14 to 5 now. Huge plays coming out by them as we do see the Galil come out on Hobbit, so definitely Gambit still, they're all now really weak by it. Like, their economy is really brittle at this point. North, they can buy for as long as they like, and he's actually going to try and throw that Galil on over as he found himself an AK that was dropped over by a teammate. Does it. He's going to do that standard sort of nade play towards apartments. They're going to try and establish some control of apartments, and Valde has found himself a close angle. That nade comes in, that'll drop Dozier down to 72 HP. Molotovs are in just a standard play, but Cajun B, the first player to pick out 1, Config through the box, finds 1 on the Hobbit. He's going to go in for seconds, but it's Fitch to shut him down yet again. 2 runs in a row. Fitch doing work for the T side here on Banana. He's established control back of it again. If he goes down there, that could have been a completely different story. But North still with an advantage. It remains to be seen if MSL can do stuff here. He finds one. He shuts down Fitch. But it's still more to find to see how he finds another. Mo is finished off. But it's MSL. He has to try and shut down Dozia. And Dozia's there to shut him down. But AZ will finish it off. Interesting camera angle, auto director. I mean, sit on the ground and just follow people about. That's probably the greatest angle I've ever seen. We do sit 15-5, one map away from closing it, one round away from closing this 1-1, and it's going to be North with the AWP, and a full buy are surrounding it, and on the Gambit side, these adds upgraded pistols, 5 sets of armor, and limited utility. It's Gambit now. They have to try and deal with this push from Cajun B. He finds one, and he finds two, and Dozia, he's falling apart here. It is Cajun B to do the work. He's finding a third as well as Fitch finally shuts down, and it's going to be Cajun B to try and find the fourth here, but Hobbit is able to stay alive just for the meantime as Cajun B finds a fourth, and going for the ace to close this one out, and we're looking at flipping B, and it's going to be Cajun B. They try and close it out. Valde actually does it. But it's going to be 16-5 for North. They close it out. Gambit, they fall with 5 rounds on Inferno. And that's about it. And we're going to fall. And it is going to be all but over as North 1-1. Finds a little bit of information, but they're able to find the frag. Is the MP9 not the greatest weapon as team damage comes in? MSL, he finds 2. It's going to be Mo. He'll shut down Config, but Emma hits 50 HP for him. He's right in front of his own graffiti. But the T side now, they've made their way on the site. Cajun planting the bomb. Dozia strikes, he finds 2. Right into a 4 versus 5. Valde, he's making his way up through the apartment. MSL, he's going to make his way through. He finds 1 kill. That's no, he doesn't. And Fitch actually finally weakened defense as merely Dozia here on their close angle. He finds 1, so he's doing a satisfactory job here. Occasional shut down Mo and Dozia fall for smokes. The flashes, they start to rain in onto the sides. The first flash from MSL. I'll go over towards A. It's going to be an excellent push coming in here. Dozia, he's in the pit. He's trying to find 1. He's going to find 2, and it's a third for Dozia. But as North MSL crumbles towards mid. And we're going to see North trying to fight back for the trade frag here. AZ is able to do so. He gets it back into a 4 versus 4. Make that for the trade frag is obviously messed up towards mid, so you just send AZ off to do a little bit of damage towards B, and it works out perfectly as MSL with a flash. He'll find 1. Going for the second as well. Fitch. With Hobbit having to try and fix his net. He's going to be the side getting pushed here. It is MSL quite aggressively moving in, but he's going to find himself a bullet in the face by the AWP. AZ, he finds 2. He's going to find himself here trying to fight out of the corner into the Lions Den. The flash comes in, he finds 2. He's looking for the third, but the flash is the first class stamp on that bad boy and sends it down the back. Config will receive it early. It's Valde shut down Dozia and Hobbit get a 1 versus 1 here as he finds a kill on location. But Valve Tech 9 has lost its running gun properties. The new update isn't as effective in the running gun situation, but it's MSL to find the frag. He shots down all less than half HP. Fitch though, he's unblinded for a second. He'll take that frag. See, he drops Config and 9's left into a 5 versus 4. MSL, he has to do work here. He's found 1, he finds 2.